Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. You're watching The Inside Scoop. I'm your host, Steve Scanlon. On stage with me for this first half of the show will be Joe. Welcome, Joe.
Hello.
As later on, we'll have Bubba and Emily on stage, as Bubba will host the second half. Now, this is Mother's Day weekend, so we wish you mothers out there a happy Mother's Day. Now, Joe, do nuns celebrate Mother's Day?
I don't know on that.
Like Mother Teresa, Mother...
I doubt it.
Oh, my aunt was a nun. Nun Mother's Day.
Oh, okay. Because you know how they call some nuns mother or sister and mother? I wonder if
How many times
animal
were you dropping your head with
mothers...
the first one?
I wonder if mother animals celebrate Mother's Day. You know, like
Yes,
the mother
that's
cat,
why- yeah,
the
yeah.
mother dog.
Yeah, Bambi's mother celebrated it. You can see what happened to her.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, tonight's episode is of wrestling once again, as usual. Now, last show, Joe mentioned, I believe, one match for the next WWE pay-per-view.
Yeah. I had two because I did hear them talk about them on the shows, but say that they're actually going to happen or not, but I wrote them down anyway.
Now, Daniel Bryan lost a match on SmackDown recently against Roman Reigns. And now he must leave. Daniel Bryan must leave SmackDown. So the question is he going to Raw or NXT, or is his contract up with WWE? Well, I heard his contract was up, but the question is he
I have
going to
been
renew
reading online that they may put him in NXT for a bit,
NXT? Okay.
but he's going to work part-time.
Okay.
He's not going to work as often as he has. He wants to kind of fade down his career a little bit. I don't think he's going to re-sign. I think he's going to just play his contract out and kind of gradually fade away.
Okay.
I mean, future Hall of Famer, so.
Yeah. So, with that happening, I doubt it. Well, there possibly could be a chance where he'll give a title match at the next WWE pay-per-view, right?
I don't see it
You
happening.
don't see it happening?
No.
Okay. Now, you mentioned there was more matches booked for this.
I heard one. They talked about the Monday night, and I think it was like a week or two ago. I heard another one mentioned by one of the wrestlers themselves. There's the women's title, because what Bianca said, she's defending against Bayley.
That's going to be a great match. I'm going to go with Bianca retaining the title. That's where she just won it. I don't see her losing it right away. So I think she's going to retain that title.
I agree with you. I think Bianca's going to win that match.
I agree also.
Going to be a good match.
Unanimous. I agree too.
Now, Charlotte Flair, I believe it was this Monday on Raw.
Yes.
She was able to con her way into the other women's title match.
Yeah.
Now, going to be a triple threat women's title match. And she used a quote that her father used to say. And what's that quote, Joe?
Be fair to Flair.
And so she's in it against, who's the two other opponents?
The champ, Rhea Ripley, and Asuka.
Now, I think Ripley is going to retain the title because I haven't seen her wrestle that many times, but I think she wrestled pretty good at WrestleMania, so I'm going to go with her to retain the title.
Joe?
I'm gonna go with the Asuka on this one.
And I'm going to go against you two and say I think Charlotte takes the title. Gets her 14th world
I
championship.
was about to ask how many times she won the title.
I think Rhea Ripley.
She's catching up to her dad, as in her mother world championships won.
See, people always say that Ric Flair has the most world championships. He doesn't.
Nope.
Some guy named Jerry Lawler had 21. And people don't recognize the Global Wrestling Federation's championship because Jerry Lawler basically ran the company and owned the place. And he had a title down there over 21 times.
USWA.
Global Wrestling.
Global Wrestling.
Yep.
And he's a former AWA champion as well.
I believe so.
Yes. Now on YouTube, he wrestled a match, I'm not sure what year it was,
He did?
against Dusty Rhodes. Someone put it on YouTube. Him against Dusty Rhodes one-on-one. It's a good match. Now, was there, I know you mentioned the matches for the upcoming pay-per-view. Now, what's the pay-per-view name again? I forgot what it was.
WrestleMania Backlash.
My question is, why are they calling it WrestleMania Backlash instead of Backlash?
I have no idea.
It's weird how they include WrestleMania in the name of Backlash.
It's a backlash what happened after WrestleMania.
Okay.
Some matches are going to maybe happen again, or rematch, or just after what happened at WrestleMania, because we had 3 title changes, if you remember. So
Yeah.
that's just the name they've given it for over the years, Backlash. One of the matches you didn't mention, Joe, you probably have it written down there, is the WWF Championship match between Bobby Lashley, Braun Strowman, and Drew McIntyre.
That match was one that was updated since the last show.
Yes, Braun Strowman was added to the match. Make
I'm
that
gonna
triple threat.
pick Braun Strowman for this. Well, all 3 wrestlers are great wrestlers. It's hard to pick, but I'm going to go with who I like best out of the 3. I'm going to go with Braun Strowman.
I'm going to go with, it's going to be a tough match either way. I think Lashley somehow retains his title. I don't know how. I think Drew McIntyre and Braun Strowman are going to kill each other, and Lashley's going to sneak a championship somehow. I think Drew's going to end up Claymoreing somebody, Claymoreing Braun, and then somehow Lashley's going to get the pin.
I'm going to also go with Braun Strowman.
Who you pick, Joe?
I'll go with the only one, the number 1, and I'm going to go with the man from Scotland.
Yeah.
I think he's going to win it back at SummerSlam, so that's my opinion on that. I think they'll keep us going until SummerSlam.
No, I, at my age, fall asleep during wrestling shows. I admit to it. Now, what happened on the main event for Raw this week, Joe? Did you see the main event?
Yeah, I did. Lashley ended up winning that.
Lashley, who did he face?
Yeah. And at the end, Drew Claymore'd both of them.
And it was also announced that next week there'll be a match between Drew McIntyre and Bobby Lashley.
Awesome. All right, I have a few minutes to spare before we switch personnel on the stage. I want to get your opinion on, about a month ago, we were talking about the WWE Hall of Fame, and we mentioned that we were disappointed in referees not being inducted to the Hall of Fame. My opinion is, besides referees, do you think there should be another category in the Hall of Fame for the WWE that they should open up? Because they got the Warrior Award, which could go to regular citizens. They got manager, wrestlers, ring announcers, and celebrities. So, do you guys think that they should open up another category? I don't think there is any other category that they could open
Really?
up.
I mean, are there any referees in
I don't
the
think there
Hall
is.
of Fame?
I don't think so.
We mentioned this last week. There should be, I can name a couple that should be in right away.
With-
Dick Worley's one of them.
I know some
Mike Chioda
people,
should be
some
winning.
people might have their opinion. It's like, why induct referees? But referees, I think, play a big role in the wrestling business because every match, except for some matches where there will be a stipulation where there is no referees, the referees work the match, and you can't have a match unless you have a referee. Now, Joe, when you were part of the ABWF, you refereed quite a few matches. And your opinion, do you think the referee has a big part in the wrestling business that they should be acknowledged in the Hall of Fame? Yeah.
Yeah.
When I refereed for the ABWF and back in ECW, then I did a few referee jobs for New World Wrestling over at the Moose Lodge back in the late 90s, early 2000s. It's important that the referee, knows, what's going on with the wrestling matches because they play a role. If you were to, let's think back about their, this is an example, their Montreal screw job, where Bret Hart was screwed out of the title by Vince because Bret was leaving to go to WCW. Now, it was important that the referee, Earl Hebner, knew that the screw job was going to happen, and so forth, and go with it. Now, if the referee plays a role in the matches. Sometimes there'll be miscommunication, that happens everywhere, but without the referee, knowing what's going on, and so forth, and having an effect in the match wouldn't have an outcome. I mean, I'm not talking about the referee makes a 3 count, or the referee makes a disqualification, or the referee, calls for the bell by submission. I'm talking about, sometimes the referee has a role in the ending, from a screw job, or maybe the referee, takes a bump. Some referees take bumps in the match, and it's like, the work that Lee put in, I think is well deserving that Lee should be in the Hall of Fame and should be more recognized. Now, with a lot of wrestling schools, for those of you who want to go to a wrestling school, a lot of promoters or bookers will have you referee matches because it's actually a learning experience refereeing. And
we have a lot of guys on the independent circuit who are really good referees.
yes.
Really good referee. I mean, Rich Bass is a manager now primarily, but he was a great referee for years. Diane Mahoney from Sheldon Goldberg's contingent there. She's a good referee. I've met so many different ones. The one from House of Bricks, I forget his name. I'm picturing him, but I can't remember his name. It's,
I know who you're talking about. Gotta
he's got a
remember his name
beard.
as well.
He's a real nice kid, real nice person. He's a good referee too, and he plays dramatic roles. I mean, I can remember.
Is it TJ?
TJ Richter has refereed. He was actually a good wrestler. He's an okay referee. He plays a character referee. He plays kind of himself and gets involved with the match with the wrestlers, which is kind of cool in his own way. All right, but I know their main referee that who also worked for the wrestling that's coming up too. He's worked for them too. I can't think of his name, but he's a great referee, local.
There's even
Bobby Dutra, I know, worked for RWA, good referee.
in the past there have been guest referees and enforcer referees. And I was watching a few old NWA matches on YouTube, and I was able to see a referee who I never seen refereed before. He became a manager for ECW. He was Sabu's manager.
Bill Alfonso.
Bill Alfonso.
Welcome. I've met Bill Alfonso. So.
Oh, wow. Okay, well, our first half, Joe, went by so quickly. Now, folks, we're going to swap personnel as Bubba will host, and Emily will be the guest.
Welcome to the second half of our show here on The Inside Scoop. Led in nicely by Steve and Joe. Thank you, but let the A-Team take over. Good to see Em's back again.
Yeah.
Where's Mr. T?
We're going to go back to that discussion in a few minutes about referees, but first thing that was kind of neglected in our first 12 minutes, which we often do in our shows, and kind of left, I mentioned to him, was our deaths. We had a few deaths in the last couple weeks since our last taping that I'd like to go over, if I can dissect this. Apollo 11 astronaut Michael Collins passed away. How much you'll win. The wife of actor Kirk Douglas, mother of actor Michael Douglas, Ann Douglas, passed away. For those who remember. the Rifleman star Johnny Crawford. Now, that was Luke McCain's son. That was Chuck Connor's son, Luke. I remember he was doing the Me TV clips there for a bit. Actress Olympia Dukakis, great actress, Oscar winner, I know that. And she's a cousin of our former governor. Did you realize that? No?
No.
And this just happened yesterday, today being the Cinco de Mayo on May 5th, when we're taping this show, folks. Yesterday, Bobby Unser passed away. Bobby Unser was 87. Great driver for NASCAR, was around for many, almost 40, 50 years in the business.
Oh.
That was in the news yesterday, and it did make our list here, but I just know that from reading it.
You watching the news?
I watch the news, yeah, I like to watch the news. See if anybody I know died. What we could talk about wrestling. The next pay-per-view is going to be great. I just think
WrestleMania Backlash?
there's some good feuds that are going to happen here. I mean, those matches. What show do you think could actually steal that match if you wanted it to?
What do you think?
Me?
Yeah.
Roman Reigns against Cesaro could be a great match if they let it go. Yes, it can. I think Cesaro has a good shot at taking that title, by the way.
Cesaro could win.
I think so, too. He needs
I
a
don't
push.
know
He deserves a
how good
push.
of a match that would be.
Well, they both can wrestle. Cesaro's a strong kid. A strong
They
man.
don't give him shots. That's the problem.
I tell you. It's been happening. He's been doing well.
Yeah.
He's been getting a push lately, too. The other match that could be interesting is a female match with Asuka, Rhea Ripley, and Charlotte Flair. Three great workers.
They all like have the same style, but then it's different. So I think it would like.
I kind of know what you mean. They all could be aggressive when they
yeah.
want to be. But I get a feeling Charlotte Flair's going to spend a lot of time outside the ring. And it's going to be mostly Rhea Ripley and Asuka
And
fighting.
then she's gonna just pin one when
One of the two, yeah.
when they're
she'll hit one.
drained out.
Yep. That's what I think so, too.
That's smart.
That's why I picked her to win that match. Since our last taping, I know I tend to watch Raw and SmackDown. I've been watching a little bit of NXT on Tuesday nights now. That's been getting a little interesting.
I've been watching that more than.
I mean, what do you think of some of the characters down there? I mean,
A lot of them have a good chance of getting moved up because of the gimmicks seem similar to other ones, but they're also different in their own way.
I mean, the Dexter Lou character obsessed with that girl. What's up with that?
I love that. That's.
Dexter Lou's just crazy.
I like it.
He's quiet. I mean, Shotzi Blackheart and Ember Moon are the female title champions.
Yeah, they're great.
There's a lot of good talent down there. I mean, a lot of great talent down there.
Yeah.
Like I said, there's rumors that Daniel Bryan may go down there. That would change things up dramatically down there. I mean, I'd love to see a match between him and Adam Cole. I think that'd be a classic. They both can wrestle. Adam Cole. You know Adam Cole from.
Yeah. Who do you think would go good with?
Who would win that match?
Yeah.
I think Adam Cole would win that match. I don't know why, but I would pick Adam Cole. He's got youth on the side a little bit, but it'd be a great technical match. They both can wrestle.
Adam Cole versus who? I didn't hear who you said. You said Adam Cole.
Daniel Bryan. That'd be a great match.
Oh, actually, yeah, I would.
Unbelievable match. Two technical wrestlers going at it. I mean, the female division done is beginning to pick up. They got Valkyrie from Impact just came in. She has the whole new character there, Frenchie, whatever her name is there.
That's hilarious.
It's funny how she comes out as a Southern Belle and I don't know. What else has been really happening much? We've been getting the different storylines happening. I mean, there's a good chance that Dominic and Rey Mysterio have a title shot, I think, against Bobby Roode and what's his name there?
Ziggler.
Dolph Ziggler.
Who do you think
That should happen at Flashback.
Who do you think?
I personally think, okay, the WWE would like to do it for historical fact, is to put the title on Rey Mysterio and Dominic,
Yeah.
okay? But I think Ray's getting ready to retire very shortly, so.
Yeah, and then he's gonna leave it to Dominic. That's why, like, yeah.
That would be a decent match too. They've really been pushing tag teams on Raw. I mean, what do you think of? You guys can chime in here too. You know, you have mics.
Yeah.
What do you think of Riddle and Randy Orton as
I love it.
Team RK Bro? I mean,
Yeah.
They're 2-0 right now.
they're two completely opposite wrestlers. I know Randy Orton doesn't go for the hoopla, but it's good because it can be distracting with what Riddle does. I mean, he can wrestle, but he steps back like a clown. But and Randy Orton's like all business. I think Randy Orton might actually get into that.
Randy Orton's carrying the tag team.
Yeah, but
Riddle's distracting the opponent. I love them.
can they beat AJ Styles in the Colossal? Almost though.
It would be a miracle.
Almost is. I mean, how do you beat that guy?
Well, like this past week on Monday Night Raw, AJ had, what was it, almost?
Yeah, almost as his partner.
Wrestled most of the match.
Which was
And
good.
So basically, if that match was to take place, I would rephrase it and say almost against the
New
tag
Day.
team, you know. But I think there'll be a tough decision to make who to pick to win between AJ Styles, Omos. I'm sorry, Omos. I keep calling him Omos. Okay, I'm not
Almost,
good with names.
almost.
Let him against RK Bro. I think that's going to be a great match. It's going to be.
If it's a match,
to
I don't
pick.
think it's going to happen that flashback. I don't think they're ready for that yet. It's only a couple of weeks away.
If that did happen, who do you think would have won that?
Right now, I think Almost and AJ would win that match. But let RK Bro develop themselves a little bit and
Yeah.
see what happens.
If it's like
be interesting.
later on, I think they would have like a good chance of getting close. But like, Omos is like very tall, so it's gonna be
Huge.
He's 7'4".
7'4", 400 pounds.
He would like topple over me, but like,
I mean, there's other tag teams that are back. Like, I'm surprised the Viking Warriors are back. I can't believe Ibar came back after his broken neck.
oh, he broke his neck.
Yeah.
Oh, I never knew that.
Yeah,
Wow.
he broke his neck. He was training with Diamond Dallas Page for a bit after his injury. So
It's hard to come back from a neck injury, right?
big time. Well,
Was
look at
he
some of the guys who
doing
are doing
yoga
it.
with DDP?
Who?
Was he doing yoga with
Probably.
Because I know Diamond Dallas Page does
Yeah.
yoga with
Does
some,
yoga. He does all kinds of
wrestlers.
stretch training and training.
Yeah, he's done it with Scott Hall and Jake the Snake.
Yeah. He basically saved Jake the Snake's life, and Jake the Snake has said that.
Really?
Oh yeah, because Jake the Snake was going down a path of drugs. He was dying basically, and he pretty much brought him back. See, I do not watch AEW. I've told you that, folks, before. I just don't watch it. I
I watched it once, but I could never get into it.
I just can't. But different characters. Little quick update. I know I never mentioned this before. We have mentioned this either. Like, what's happened to wrestlers? People that are on the roster are just not AOP. I just found out that
happened to
they got released.
Really?
He's back in September.
I never seen that.
Neither did I. They got released. I just out of nowhere, Pink.
I think they should notify us about
No.
that.
Yeah, they just disappeared. Where is Nikki Cross? I haven't seen Nikki Cross in
Did
3
she
months.
get released too?
No,
That's
she's
right,
still on.
yeah.
She's still on the roster. But I don't know what that. Maybe they got to change her character. I don't know what's up with her.
Is she back in NXT?
I don't know. I don't see her down there
That's
either.
what, like,
I haven't seen Nikki Cross in 3 months. I like Nikki Cross's character, the way she wrestles. She's crazy. She's tough. She got pushed there for a
Can
while.
we
And
talk more about that Lillian character
who?
for
Alexa Bliss's doll.
yes.
I don't know what's up with that. Who's she going to bring back? Who's she going to bring back? She's going to bring back a different version of the Fiend, I think.
Oh, okay.
That's probably the obvious. That's the only thing I can think
can't
of.
with that.
Maybe they bring back Nikki Cross with Alexa, and they form some kind of a crazy tag team.
If they did that, that would be cool because they're both crazy. So like, yeah.
I mean, I could see Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler losing the titles to them because they're kind of making mistakes together, and they're winning matches, but they're making mistakes. They're not as cohesive as they used to be.
When Nia keeps getting distracted by
Yeah, but
outside
the
stuff.
idiot. Yeah. what's his name there? The barista. I don't even know his name. It's insignificant character that gets involved. It shouldn't be.
Oh yeah, Reginald.
Yep.
Who?
Reginald. He was Carmella's sommelier.
Oh, yeah.
Another thing, folks out there with wrestling, if you watch it, and I hate to say don't watch AACS, but I flipped through the channels and I saw a couple different things coming, new shows that are on, and old shows actually, is the Dark Side of the Ring. Been really getting into that lately.
I love that.
There's been some interesting stories about Fabulous Moolah, Jimmy Snuka, Herb Abrams, the crazy guy there who had the other wrestling going, the UWF for a while. I saw that recently. Read about, you heard about from WWE now his biographies like Randy Macho Man Savage, Roddy Piper.
Yeah.
This week is Booker T.
I'm excited.
And we saw Stone Cold the first time it was on. And,
Yeah.
and they're looking for WWE's looking for treasures. And we saw Mick Foley go out and found, some of his things. Mr. Socko he had, and the mask when he was Mankind. We saw Undertaker and Kane. They found Kane's mask, Undertaker's urn.
I seen that.
And we just had one recently with Jerry Lawler. He found some of his treasures in Baltimore. He had a couple of them and sold them back to WWE to put them in the warehouse. Interesting show to look into. It's on A&E channel. I think it's on Sunday nights. Oh, I can't believe this. Well, I'm going to mention quickly, we have a couple seconds left here, the Patriots.
Oh, yeah.
Patriots made some good draft choices. We'll talk more about that hopefully next show. We'll Steve give his input on that as well. Well, I'd like to thank AACS for taping us, our director for directing our show tonight, Steve, Joe for opening our show, Emily for being my guest host and making me look so much better. Thank you very much. And on a personal note, Bobby Unser, rest in peace.
Bye.